Well, hey, good morning and welcome back to another episode of the Almost Daily Vlog here at Life in the Higham House. It is almost the weekend and I'm in a car wash. I'm back at the Sheets. I call it the disco car wash because they have all these crazy lights that flash on and off as the car is getting washed. But, like I said, it's almost the weekend, and getting the car ready for the weekend. But I got a question for you. So, we do our best to try to make sure that our car's oils are changed on a regular basis. This is turning into like car week. We had the brake problem with the truck earlier this week. Now we're talking about oil in the vehicles this week. We usually have our oil done by somebody. And then what we noticed is, okay, let me back up. I'll say this again. We really work hard to try to make sure we're always on with our oil. We go every 3 months. They say every 3 months to 3,000 miles. But we've also been told every 6,000 miles. We have newer vehicles, and we take good care of them. We really do. And we noticed that after getting a recent oil change just before the Thanksgiving holiday, our oil lights were coming on, and we're thinking, okay, early November, so November, December, January, that's 3 months. It could be that we're ready for another oil change. This particular car only gets driven back and forth to school mostly by Asher, back and forth to school, back and forth. Oh, we're done. I gotta go. Hold on. Okay, back to what I was saying. So we do our best to keep the oil up to par. So again, early November, actually it was November 2nd, and then about a week or so ago, so not even a full 3 months, Asher noticed that the oil light started coming on and flashing, indicating there might be a problem with the oil. And I thought, that's weird. We just had it changed, and it hasn't even been 3 full months yet. And I'm not sure that we've done the mileage. Maybe we've done the mileage. Like I said, Asher pretty much uses it for back and forth to school, back and forth to work, and then when we have to, Amy and I use it, but we don't usually use it. So we looked at the receipt and the sticker that they, put on the car after an oil change, and the sticker and the receipt both said it was 5W30. 5W30. And so I was checking with the vehicle itself, because nowadays on the oil cap they put the proper oil that you're supposed to have. Well, I looked at the oil cap and it said 5W20. And so we were like, did they really fill up with the wrong oil? And could that be the reason why our lights are on? So finally had a chance to get it over to the place where we get our oil changed. And so I went in and I explained. Our sticker and our receipt both say 5W30, but the vehicle calls for 520. And my light's on, and it's not even been a full 3 months yet. Could there be a problem? And I said, and I was trying to be nice, but I was a little annoyed because I'm like, you're a professional. Like, you should know what oil goes in my car. And, if something is wrong, they're going to cover the cost of it. It's not going to come out of my pocket. So I said, what's the deal? And the person at the counter was like, oh, I remember this vehicle. I sat and watched them do this. I'm pretty sure they put the right oil in it. And I'm thinking, it was November the 2nd. They had to have done dozens, if not maybe a good 100 or so oil changes between November 2nd and getting our oil adjusted. Like, not buying it. But she said, oh, we always use we always put in whatever the cap calls for. And the hoses they use automatically switch back and forth so that the right oil goes in the right car. Okay, that all makes sense. I would expect that. She said, but sometimes we don't pay attention to the receipt and what goes on the receipt. And I'm thinking, that's a red flag. Because if you're putting something on a receipt that says you've done something or you've added something and it's a particular something, I think I would be double checking to make sure it was the right thing that I was supposed to be putting in. So that's a red flag. Plus, she's like, oh, I remember this vehicle. And I'm like, there's no way you could possibly remember this vehicle. 2 red flags. So I said, well, here's the deal. I said, if you guys can take a look and then do whatever you need to do. If it is the wrong and you need to flush it, flush it. Whatever has to happen. I said, because if there's a problem, I'm coming right back to you guys, or I'm going to the dealer and having them fix it. I'm bringing you guys the receipt, because if you put the wrong thing in and it messed up my vehicle, then it's on you. And I have the receipt. So whether you say it or not, I have the receipt that says this is what you put in my vehicle. So, brings me to this question. Have you ever had someone put the wrong oil into your vehicle? And if so, what happened? Did it cause any damage to the vehicle, or was it okay? And I'm asking this because in this recent oil change, November 2nd to now, I have noticed that we're losing oil somewhere. And it's not leaking anywhere. I'm not finding any spots underneath the vehicle. And, you know, I've had a vehicle one time before blow a bunch of seals and gaskets, and oil was getting into the motor or the engine, and it was throwing smoke out the back. We're not throwing any smoke out the back. Like, I think I know some of the signs, and I'm not seeing any of the signs. So I said, can you guys also run and, you know, run the lines and just check to see if there's any leaks, because I think I'm low on oil. And again, we just had this done in November. We shouldn't be low in oil, not in 2.5 months. So they took care of the oil. They said they put the right stuff in. The receipt says the right stuff. The sticker on the window says the right stuff. And I was told they found no leaks, but out of what the vehicle is supposed to have in it, they only took out about 1.5 quarts of oil. So I'm thinking, okay, we have a problem. So my question is, does the wrong oil in the motor affect it? And if it does, how does it affect it? And I think somewhere I'm burning oil. So now I got to take it to the dealer and have them look at it to see if they can find out if I'm burning oil. But I want to see if the wrong oil is a problem. So if you've ever been in a situation where someone has put the wrong oil into your car and it has somehow damaged your motor, I want to know. I want to know what happened. I want to know what the problems were. I want to know what the damage was. This car is not that old. It's 2018. So it's getting up there, but it's not that old. And like I said, we make sure we have the oil changed, you know, on a regular basis. Like, we take care of it. It gets inspected. We take care of the tires. We take care of the brakes. Take care of all the maintenance stuff. Like, we take care of our vehicles. So, can you help me? Do you have an answer for me? Do you have any ideas for me? If you do, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to kind of get my head around this and see what's going on, because we're coming up to the time when this vehicle needs to be inspected again. And if it needs to be inspected again, I want to go ahead and have them also look this up. But I want a little bit more information before I get there. So, that's it. That's the mission. If you so choose to accept it, what happens to a vehicle when you put the wrong oil in it? Let me know in the comments below. And that's going to do it for today's Almost Daily Vlog. I got to go. Got a busy weekend ahead. Got a lot of things I need to do today. So we'll catch up with you next time right here, the Almost Daily Vlog, Life in the Higham House. We'll see you later.